Hey, this is Chan for Different Skill, and I'm bringing you a new deck profile of a deck that I'm not completed yet, but I was so hyped that I wanted to, make the video anyways. So, and by couldn't wait, I mean it's literally 4 a.m., and I don't even have some of the cards for this deck yet. But I do know how to play it, so that's all that really matters, because I'm getting them, and they're not here. But anyways, also tell me guys if you guys think the quality of this video is better than or worse than the older videos, because this is an actual camera. Who would have thought that I would have an actual camera? I know I didn't usually use one. I used to use an iPhone, but the iPhone has such limited memory that I couldn't record events like team tournaments. So from now on, I will be recording as much of the team tournaments as I can, because they have three games going on at once. I can't record all of it, so I think I'll just record all the games in my group, so my qualifier pool, and then our finals, the games that I play. So I hope you guys enjoy that later. That's all coming up. There's another team tournament coming up on March 22nd or 29th, so you guys can look forward to that. That's within like 1 month from now, almost exactly a month from now. So there's that. I'll probably be playing this deck if my team tier list allots for it. So I don't even know what allot means. I'm just using that word. So these sleeves are so cool because you probably can't tell on the camera, but they're foil. Like the eyes of the Gundam, of the new Gundam, are foil. So looks really cool. So seeing as it's a Gundam sleeve, it is a Gundam deck. So this is my Blaukluger deck. I bought this deck off someone, but it was missing cards, so I ordered extra cards for it already. So they're on their way. For now, you'll have to look at some semi-ugly proxies, but yeah, that's enough of that. So this is the Blaukluger deck that I wanted to play, and it's double sleeve, that's why it's so thick. So moving right onto it, I have 3 Mond Blaukluger. Now I'm not sure how the lighting goes with this, but if it's good, tell me if it's good. If it's bad, tell me if it's bad. So there's that. So 3 Mond Blaukluger. Mond Blaukluger, also known as Strike Freedom Blaukluger, if you guys watch Gundam Seed Destiny, because if you can see here, it looks like the wings and the fin funnels, or what do they call those? Dragoons. They call them Dragoons in that series. The Dragoons look exactly the same. Like they have the upper part and the lower part that technically would be connected to it, but and it's also, wait, actually, yeah, it's the Dragoons are actually deployed. You can see one here and one here, and this would be where the gold would be on the Strike Freedom. But I'm not a big fan of Strike Freedom because I think that it's a lame Gundam, so enough of that. But I'll be making as many comparisons as I can to previous Gundams as I can while I'm doing this deck profile, so do enjoy. So Mond Blaukluger is the break ride for Blauklugers, and its ability is when this unit, when a grade 3 Nova Grapple revives this unit, that unit gains plus 10,000, and the ability, when this unit declares attack, you may pay the cost, counterblast 1, and restand all your rear guards. So it's basically an upgraded version of Ethics Buster, except it has the upside of boosting, restanding all of your rear guards instead of just the front row, and also it only costs 1 extra counterblast, which I think is very fair. And in this deck, it's a really deadly combo with the other grade 3, which is Galaxy Blaukluger. As you can see, these two are proxies, but I tend to not like to write on a piece of paper or on the card, so I do get nice color printouts so that whoever I'm playing against with these proxies don't mind as much. I try to get the best ones I could, but these ones shall suffice. And I normally try to get the full art ones if they're available, because it looks nice. Anyways, so let's just put these two aside. But it's 3 Galaxy Blaukluger. Let's just look at this nice one. So Galaxy Blaukluger is the grade 3 Blaukluger unit, as the name implies, and it has a really powerful ability, which is when this unit, when a Blau Vanguard or rear guard attack hits an opponent's Vanguard, you may pay the cost, counterblast 2, discard 2 cards, and restand this unit and all units in the same column. So this means that if you break ride onto Mond Blaukluger, and then you attack with 2 rear guards, and then you attack with your Vanguard, and then you restand your 2 rear guards. If they don't block either this or the next 2 attacks, this card gets to restand again. But in all other situations, you would always just attack with this first. If they block it, then they block it, and then you attack with 2 rear guards, and if they block those 2, then you don't get to restand. But if your rear guards get in, you get to restand. And it's Vanguard or rear guard, the thing you have to hit. So Galaxy Blaukluger is definitely one of the sleepers in the format, in my opinion, because it has such a powerful ability. Of course, as a restanding ability goes, having to hit is always a downside. But at the same time, with things like Link Joker, if they lock your front row, you lose more of that ability to restand. That's why I believe this card is not up there, because of how the meta is right now. It's just, there's too many things that you have to say. But if you hit them, you win. Well, that's kind of the case in most situations, because if they're at 5 damage in any way, if you hit them with something, they're dead. So that's why this is not as good. It's a situational restand. It's on hit, and that's why it's not as good as something like Minerva, Draconic Descendant, which is not on hit, which is completely different, by the way, and Raging Form Dragon, which only has an ability cost. So overall, very powerful and very fun. So definitely, but apparently most lists only play 3 of each. So I want to try that too, along with the fact that Galaxy Blauklugers are hella expensive, and so are Mon Blauklugers. So there's that. But another reason why you don't have to play so many of each is that you have such a good way to find them, and I'll show you guys that later. One Stern Blaukluger, and as Galaxy Blaukluger is ridden on top of Stern Blaukluger, it is actually a cross ride. Who would have thought? But at the same time, why would you ever ride this on top of this? This card is good for very early game purposes, because as an old card, it's not Limit Break 3, Limit Break 3, what am I doing? Limit Break 4. So if you can actually, like, if you run into Spike Brothers or something, and you're at 3 damage or something, and then they have a full field because you guarded early, and then they have like barely any cards in hand, you can just ride Stern Blaukluger and attack, and if they can't block it, well, you get a restand. And the cost is not high, I believe. It says counterblast 2, discard 2 cards, loses Twin Drive, but at the same time, extra damage. It's pretty good. Also, it's a Blau unit, which is very important, because Galaxy Blaukluger needs the Blaukluger triggers to restand. So just one Stern Blaukluger. So 7 grade 3s in this lineup. Although I must admit, Mon Blaukluger looks really cool, even though I don't like Strike Freedom. I still think he's the coolest looking Blaukluger out there right now. So let's put him up in the front. So for Jupiter Blaukluger, 10k beater. As I was saying, the Blaukluger in its name is so important. So that's why this deck is quite unconventional, since it doesn't run 12k attackers, because the name's not actually Blau something, it's Grosse Bär, which is, I don't know what it means in German, and I'm probably butchering the name, and it's probably not even pronounced Blaukluger. It's probably pronounced like, I don't even know if like it's even close to Blaukluger, but I'll speak the language I speak, which is English. So I'll try to not butcher the names, but this is Jupiter Blaukluger, so 10k beater, play 4, it's good. Now this is just Blaukluger, which I have 1 proxy here, as you guys can see, which actually, it might be well, it's probably not hard to notice because of how there's no text on this card, but I mean, I gotta admit, they're pretty nice proxies. I could have done a better job cutting them, because I actually tore them with my hands. Like, I used a ruler and tore it, because I'm too lazy to get scissors. But anyway, little did I know, Blaukluger has an ability. Yes, apparently it did. So, aside from getting plus 1000 from having Blaupanzer in the soul, it actually unflips damage if you hit something. Who would have thought? I didn't know that, honestly, because back in the day, no grappler didn't have a way to use Counterblast. So I was just like, wait, it unflips damage for the first time using it? He's like, yeah? I'm like, whoa. But unfortunately, it's only a damage unflipper in the Vanguard zone. That's why you only play 3. If it was in Vanguard zone and Rearguard zone, definitely play 4. But it doesn't, so it's a 3-up in this deck. Otherwise, being a 9k with no other ability, it's not bad. So, there's some nice plays you can do with it if you ride it. So, there's that. For Mars Blaukluger, and this is an ugly proxy because it doesn't come in full art. As you can see, this ugly proxy, so I'm just gonna not show you guys any more of it. Mars Blaukluger is a grade 2 9k when your Vanguard attack hits, you may counterblast 1, restand this unit, plus 5,000. So, likewise with this, if you have 1 counterblast and you attack with Mars Flirt first, they block it, as if, you know, if they were a good player or a smart player and they could afford to block it, you probably would block it because of, well, it depends really. It depends on how many other attacks you have. If you have more attacks, then you probably don't block it to hope you get a trigger, so you blank the other attacks, but it's all situational. So even if they block it and they don't block it, it doesn't matter. You attack with your Vanguard, and if you hit, you can use your starter, which has a counterblast 1 cost, which I won't show you yet, and then you can unflip that damage after you use your ability and use that same 1 damage to restand Mars and then attack again. So it has its uses. Mars is really good early game. It gets worse late game because you don't want to attack with rearguards first because of Galaxy Blaukluger. You want to attack with Galaxy first, so it kind of loses its synergy later on in the stages of the game. But all in all, Mars Blaukluger very good. They're pretty good. They're just very good. So enough of that. The next, alright, and also I did not compare. Blaukluger kind of looks like Sword Strike. It's blue, and it has like these fin funnel kind of things. I'll use the full art one because there's no text on it. So I can see like it has like these six sets of funnels, and they all look like wings. So it doesn't, in that sense, it's kind of not like Sword Strike. But at the same time, it also has a beam saber. It's like a beam katana, which I don't recall any Gundams having a beam katana in the earlier series. That Gundams look so mechy and cool. Because before, like, I know, what was that one? It was in EF versus, no, not EF versus that. What is that one called? The Zeta series. I don't forget which of the 2 organizations were called. I think it was like Earth Federation or something else. I don't know. I don't remember. But they used to have beam katana, beam saber, kind of like the fat one. But whatever. It looks like a very generic Gundam though, so I'll give it that. Jupiter kind of just looks like a robot. It doesn't look like a Gundam per se. Of course, it has the blue, the colored feet and the white upper part of your feet, like all Gundams do. So there's that. Now this is awkward because for Claydol Mechanic, at first I was like, I don't want to play Claydol Mechanic, and then I realized this deck is so counterblast heavy that these are worth every single penny. You don't have to hold them in your hand just to get extra value out of them, because at some point you just can't get extra value. So these aren't bad, especially because Galaxy Blaukluger has counterblast 2, and you'll be farming your starting Vanguard non-stop as much as you can. This is very useful to free up some of your counterblast. At first I was like, this is not that good, and then later I realized this card's amazing, so definitely run 4. Now this is your 10k attacker, which is generally just a 7k booster because it does not have Blau in its name, so you can't attack with it and trigger Galaxy Blaukluger. This card is Polar Stern. Why can't they just give us Blau, like Blau Polar or Blau Bear? You know, just give it to us, okay? So this card is it's a 10k attacker. It's good in the early game. It's bad in the late game. It just becomes a 7k booster. Unlike the flexibility with like the Revenger one, which is the name escapes me. I know his name is Masquerade still, but I don't want to get mixed up with the Grade 2 one. And then we have Demolition Dragon from Eradicators, and I think Maron is the Gold Paladin one. Yeah, I think so. I think Maron is the Gold Paladin, the Liberator one, and they all have 10k in this name. Like, why does it not? Like, I know Minerva doesn't have its own set, and they use the 12k attackers, but I think it's more important for this deck to have it, so I play 4 anyways, because it's just a good card. Now for Blaudunkelheit, I don't know how to say its actual name. I'm butchering it, I'm sure, but it's Dunkel and Height. So I wish it was a Grade 3, because the name Blaudunkelheit is really cool, but there's that. So a Blaudunkelheit is the perfect guard, and lovely that we have a Blau perfect guard because of how the starter works, and I'll explain that later once again. Although you guys probably know what it is already. In comparison, okay, this looks like a generic suit I mean, it has a beam rifle and no other real. It has two beam rifles, which I guess is different than most like mass-produced units. But this looks like it'd be from the Seed Destiny series, which kind of sucked anyways. So who cares about him? Blaukluger, he has a beam, a pistol. I'm gonna assume a beam pistol and reflectors. It kind of is like in Wing where Troa jacked up that suit with the electric field shield generators. Although they're not the same type, these are like triangle ones, and they have like GN field kind of things. But I don't know. It doesn't look very generic, which is nice. Like Blaukluger is super generic. This is super generic. Mon Blaukluger is slightly less generic, but it's really close to Strike Freedom. So whatever. I played 4. You definitely need 4 in this deck. I'll explain that later as well. Some girl. I don't even know why she's here. Like, it's some robot girl. It's like Flower Lay Leprechaun? Leprechaun? I honestly don't. I don't know. I don't. This is Mars Blaukluger as a grade 1, and they couldn't give us a Blau unit. They just couldn't. It could have been like another planet like Pluto. Wait, no, they have Pluto already. Saturn Blaukluger, whatever. Like, it could just be like anything. Like, just put a planet and Blaukluger in its name. But no, we had to get this thing because this thing kind of sucks. As the same as Mars Blaukluger, but it restands regardless in whatever the front row or back row. So technically, you have Mars Blaukluger and this lined up, and you hit someone with your Vanguard counterblast 2, restand your whole row plus 10k because 5 and 5, and then you have like what 26k in a row, which is cute and all, but it costs so much counterblast. This card is bad. Okay, like it's not bad, but there's no point in this. Technically, you can use it as the same as Mars Blaukluger if they're grade 1, and then like you use the attack with this one, attack with Blaukluger, unflip, use counterblast, use starter, which is this guy here, and then you unflip, restand, attack again, and they get a trigger and you look bad. So there's that. You could run Blaupanzer as a 6k that does nothing except for search for Stern Blaukluger, which is not a good idea anyways. But I mean, if you really wanted the consistency, you could run it because the starter needs a Blau unit. I might try it someday, but I don't like the 6k starter. So there's that. Now this is probably the reason why I like this deck so much. Morgenrot is an amazing starting Vanguard. Its ability is when your Blau Vanguard attack hits your opponent's Vanguard, you may pay the cost. Counterblast 1, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add a Blau unit to your hand and shuffle. What? So basically, the moment your first hit connects, you get a +1. And he doesn't go to soul or anything. And you get a +1. And you get a +1. And you get +3s off of this like all day, like very easily, especially if you want to be that guy who attacks the rear guards early game, so you can farm more triggers, which I always do because I'm greedy. So there's always that. So that's why actually running 4 Blaukluger is so useful, because you can just like add these to your hand at any moment, like if you find one, and that's why 4 is good. And I always only have 5k shields in my hand, because with this guy you find like grade 2s and then perfect guards, grade 3s, and then you just don't have a lot of trigger value, because unless you trigger them, right, or draw them, and none of the triggers have Blau in their name, which is hella fair, by the way. It's too fair, in fact. So in a sense, if you're afraid of getting grade stuck a lot, you can run Blaupanzer. So then you can ride Blaupanzer, and your grade stuck at 2, you can declare with this, and then search for a grade 2 if you really need to. That's why it's for consistency issues, but I don't really see it as a viable strategy, because finding a grade 2 isn't that hard, and you have 4 Blaukluger. Although riding a perfect guard is never good, it's still a thing. So Morgenrot's here, very good card. Yeah, I'll just put you over here. Alright, and Heavy Arms is this one, and I must say, it kind of does look like Heavy Arms a lot. At the same time, it has some properties of Sword Impulse in color and design, because it has the little tip of his crotch plate, the skirt, or the crotch skirt, where it has a different color at the very end. But I guess I think a lot of Gundams actually have that, do they? Unicorn doesn't. Savior doesn't. Infinite Justice doesn't. Leo doesn't. Okay, never mind. That's not a thing. Okay, because I have like a bunch of models over there. I just turned around and take a look. Providence doesn't. Strike Noir doesn't. Okay, yeah, not a lot of them have it. And then, but this part of the leg, it reminds me of 00 because the Master Grade, I think, 00, or the Perfect Grade 00 has a glass placement for this, or like a clear plastic that you can have a sticker under, which is cool. The double beam wrist swords reminds me of kind of like Heavy Arms because he has 2 of the swords there, and he also has missile launchers on his shoulder. Hella Heavy Arms. He's red. It looks like Heavy Arms if you throw away his gun. So, Heavy Arms. The heel trigger. Cool. Shining Lady. Not really a Gundam. Just a lady. So, critical triggers. This guy, I don't really know what this guy looks like. He's pretty cool though. He has a... Okay, let's analyze this. So he has 2 things on his back, which are probably thrusters. A beam shield that... It's basically a shield. It's a beam shield that he's attacking with. Could be a lot of things. He doesn't seem to have anything else, except he's very slim. So emphasizing in speed, hence critical trigger. You know, kill them fast. You see anyways, I would say, because I honestly don't watch that much Gundam. I mean, I've watched Seed, Sea Destiny, 001, 002, Stargazer. I know I've watched an older series. I watched Zeta. Pretty sure I watched Zeta. And Unicorn. I think that's all I've watched so far. So I don't have much to base this on, so I'm just going to pass on this guy. I don't really know. But this guy, he's a draw trigger, play 4 of course, but that's not the important part. You know, I don't know what this guy looks like either. And I think the triggers might make a full moon. Do they? I don't know. I haven't seen the stand trigger because it's a stand trigger. Okay, it doesn't make a full moon. Okay, whatever. It's not important. So at this point, if you guys don't care anymore, you guys can tune out. But I'm just gonna try to make an analysis of what Gundam this would be. He has double beam rifles again. He's armored. To be honest, this kind of looks like, I don't know. I think it's the blue, but it looks like dual assault mode shroud because it has the extra shin plates on it. Because I know the shroud had extra armor on its shins. It's like huge. Because then I have the model actually, and it has a lot of armor here, but it doesn't have 2 beam rifles. It only has 1, and it has a missile pod attached to it. So that's all. All that really stands out is the shield pads. Like they're very big on the legs, so I'm gonna go with that. So that's my Blaukluger deck profile with a lot of useless comments, I guess. So yeah, I'll have another deck profile coming in. Gold Paladins. It's a very generic build, but I'd like to show it anyways. The trial decks aren't here. I have all the cards from the rest of it already. So there's that for coming up. Look forward to team tournament footage. Hopefully I'll get some of that. Fingers crossed. And I will see you guys next time.